Hello, everyone. Welcome to the ALP1 podcast. I'm your host, Sidonian Muse. Joining me is my co-host, Golden Sniper. How you doing, Golden?
I'm severely washed right now, dude. I'm having the worst amount of qualifying I've ever had in Silverstone, and I want to cry. I would like to cry.
That's great to hear, man. Sounds like you're having a lot of fun. But what are we doing today, Golden? We're doing the NACS driver ratings for the Hungarian Grand Prix.
Whoa.
Oh yeah. So this race, in my personal opinion, I wouldn't say it wasn't like the worst race of the season or anything, but it was one of the weaker races. Like I wouldn't say it was as bad as something like Australia or Monaco, but it was kind of there at like Baku, where like it was good, but just nothing much happened. And even then, I would probably put Baku over Hungary because more did happen at Baku. But yeah, it was just it was a classic Hungarian Grand Prix. Extremely hard to overtake. You know, to the point where I almost won the race just because of the setup I was running. Like, I got a great start off the line. People couldn't get past me because I was running 36, 33 wings at
Nice.
Hungary. Yeah, so I was technically running lower wings than the AI.
Nice. That can only go so well. Oh wait, it did.
So it was going pretty well until I got a time penalty, but we'll get to that. That was choke city. I also choked in qualifying as well. I only did a 17.3 because both of the laps on the end of sector 2, the right hander, I had to let off. I couldn't like take him the way I want to take him because I didn't turn in at the right time. So otherwise, I probably would have been around. I would have been around the same. I think Kogo still might have got pole because I don't know if I would have done 17 flat, but I would have been around the same as him in grade A. So I would have had like 17-1, 17 flat like territory. It would have been a lot closer than what it was. Yeah. So that was a bit of a choke, but we'll get to that. Anything else you want to say, Golden, or are we going to start going into the ratings here?
Hungary was, in my humble opinion, shit. I can only take so many races where I have to battle these Doritos munching no shower having wheel people. So I'm slowly losing my sanity, and yeah, Lord help me if someone decides to rub me the wrong way.
Don't worry, you'll be in a better car next season.
Don't worry,
it's all going to be okay.
Race win, yeah, I'll fucking sell it to myself as well. I'm still waiting for it. Well, I know I complain about it every week, cunt, but it's not gonna happen.
It will happen at some point.
Yeah,
I don't know when that point is, but it will happen. That point will come to pass. But yeah, let's get into this. So we had the two Williams drivers who were both there, Alex, aka Kilo, and Caleb, aka Kogo Jr. We'll start off with Alex. Alex qualified 6th, ahead of Sling, but he finished 7th behind Sling because he had all the time penalties, and he also had the big glitchy EA sports moment.
It's fucking gay.
But which is unfortunate because Alex was doing pretty good. Like, he was keeping up with everyone. Like, little
shit overtook me from what I know.
Like, his pace was actually decent, but unfortunately, everything fell apart in the second half of the race. And I think it killed his motivation to continue racing at his best. It kind of killed his motivation because he lost so much time. So I've just personally gone straight down the middle for Alex. I've gone for a 5. Could have been so much more. Could have been a way better grade. He could have done way more, but unfortunately, it just it was a race to forget for Alex.
Yeah, it wasn't really his best race in terms of everything. He did have a good start though. I think passing me early on. Then of course EA Sports had to be EA Sports, and they had to target the controller people. They fuck over Alex, and then Alex loses motivation, which again, there should have people might say, oh, but it's a game glitch. It happens. What the fuck are we gonna do about him getting so many time penalties? And to that, I simply say shut the fuck up. Yeah, I've also gone for a 5, and we're not taking into account the mass amount of time penalties. Which fuck you, EA Sports, and your inability to make a great game that's equal for everyone.
Yeah.
Cunts.
Yeah, well said. So we've both gone for 5s for Alex. Next is teammate K, who qualified third, ahead of me, but behind both McLarens.
Yep.
And then he finished. In fourth. Just barely getting you at the end. He didn't get. I don't think he got you by too much. At the end,
he was 2.5 seconds.
Yeah.
But that's because I had the 3 time penalty, and he did.
That was because of the penalty. Yeah, so if you hadn't had the penalty,
Choke City,
he actually wouldn't have been able to get you. He would have got P5. Ooh, that's kind of make me want to change my grade now. But he still had a good quality though.
Yeah,
but then again, he did get. But then again, he did get out qualified. He did get out qualified by Grade Ace though.
And a man on a controller, which we'll get to later.
Well, he didn't get out qualified by me, but he did get beaten by me.
Both of us
and by a decent sized gap as well. So, and I did get the jump. I did get the jump on him at the start of the race as well. He didn't have a great start. I'm actually changing my grade. I was gonna give K an 8, but I've decided to only give him a 7. Just because I felt like it was one of his weaker weeks. Like, I know that's weird because he technically outqualified me, but again, he also got outqualified by Great Ace, who he usually outqualifies every single time. So that says to me that there should have been a bit more in the tank. And then, like I said, off the start, like I had to fight to get past Great Ace off the start, but like for him, I just flew past him. So, and then he made his own mistakes. He spun and lost a bunch of time. Yeah, so like I said, I was going to give K an 8, but I decided to go with a 7 instead.
Yeah, I've agreed with you. I've gone for a 7 as well. Just seems like there's a little bit more on the table for Mr. K. He definitely should not be fighting the second Alpine, which we're now calling this cursed seed of shit. If you know.
Yeah.
I don't know why he only came 4th and he had to fight an Alpine for the last 7 laps. But that's not mainly why I base it on. It's just, like you said, he had all the mistakes and everything. And yeah, I don't know, man. He should have fought for a podium, but he got stuck seeing that beautiful Alpine's rear wing for half the race.
Yeah, it was still a solid race for him. It just wasn't like anything to write home about. And also, I just could not give him an 8 when he almost lost like P4 to you as well. So, which if that had happened, I don't even know if I would have given him a 7. So I'm gonna give him a 7. I'm gonna give him a 7. We'll move on. Not one of K's greater races, but we'll see how he does next in a couple days at Monza. Next, onto the Ferrari driver Slingshot. who qualified last, but he finished ahead of Alex. So I have given him a higher rating than Alex. I was going to give him the same. I was going to give them both 5, but I've decided to give Sling a 6, just to give him a higher rating than Alex since he beat Alex on the track.
Fair enough. I mean, Sling, we know, isn't the quickest Donny, but he's just there for pure vibes alone. And yeah, he beat someone on track that. Yeah, we know Alex didn't have the best race, and that threw me out the window and whatnot. But yeah, Sling still beat him on track, even though it was from the 40,000 years of time penalties Alex ended up getting. But still, you got to take your chances, and that little shit did take his chances. But I am giving him the same rating as Alex, because Alex did technically qualify him, but we're taking that with a grain of salt. Because Sling is the greatest quali.
Mm-hmm.
So there may be a little asterisk next to it. I was thinking, like, if it wasn't full fucking points, I would have said Sling would definitely get higher, but you know, for shits and giggles, and my brain is fucked. I've given them the same 5.
Okay. Yep, that's fair. Like I said, I was torn between that as well. Yeah, not much to say with Sling. Kind of a standard race for Sling.
Just
nothing too crazy.
Points every week. That's all that matters.
Yeah, he's keeping Ferrari in that top 3 in the constructors because they're under threat from Williams. So he's keeping Ferrari there. And as for his teammate, I've talked to Pete. I've heard he might race. He might be racing Monza. It's going to be a big one because it's our final sprint. So if he doesn't show up for Monza,
that's a big oops.
That's a big oops.
Also, there might be a couple of Alpines wanting to prove some shit.
Kind of like when someone else didn't show up for Bahrain.
Hey, hey! I had my brother's graduation. You cunt. You little shit. I know what are we, like 15 points behind on the standings. Oh my God.
To be fair, a lot of people would not really care about missing Bahrain.
You would.
I would. I like Bahrain. I'm like one of the only Bahrain fans in this league. I think I am the only Bahrain fan.
It's not even a bad track, dude. It's just a tire wears a bit up your ass.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. Yeah, fun.
But yeah, only time will tell. We'll see if Pete shows up for Monza. But moving on to the McLarens, who both had an amazing week for the most part. It was a McLaren front row lockout in qualifying. Kogo first, Grade A second, and it was a McLaren 1-2 at the end. However, there's a lot of the numbers don't tell the full story because they did not cross the line first.
Yep.
In fact, for basically the whole race, they couldn't get past me because it's Hungary. Half because of what I was running wings, and the other half because it's Hungary and it's so hard to overtake there regardless. So they couldn't. They were stuck behind me for the whole first stint, and then I pipped before them, undercut them by like 6 seconds. And then they caught back up at the end, and I got the time penalty. So again, that's kind of more my own choke and more to affect my rating. But at the same time, I'm taking into account that that they only got it because I had the penalty. So in a way, it's like, did they even drive their best? And it's like, I don't know, because Grade A's also had a couple moments. And, race time-wise and pit-wise, strategy calls, if they pit the same lap I do, maybe, or even try to undercut me and pit a lap early onto the hards, like, they probably undercut the fuck out of me, and then they're ahead of me for the whole second half of the race. So there was kind of some strategy choices there that were a little weird as well. So I've decided to give both McLarens 9s. I've given them 9s across the board, both of them. It was probably Grade Ace's second best race of the season for him, other than Jeddah. It was his best qualifying of the season, but it was probably his second best race of the season. Um, but again, I can't give him a 10 because he has the opportunity to fight for a race win. Like, they know I got a time penalty. He has the opportunity to fight his teammate for a race win, and he's not doing it. And I know they're teammates, and he's trying to help his teammate get the most in the drivers. But it's like, your teammate's winning every other week. So, like, who cares if he misses a win here? Go for a win for yourself. Like, because, Great Ace doesn't win every other week. He wins, like, once or twice a season. So, yeah, if I'd seen that fire in him to want to get the win, but then again, his tires fell off at the end. He was just trying to stay in the free seconds. And like I said, if I didn't have the free second, he only gets P3. He still gets a podium. It's still a great podium, which is why it's a 9. But again, he now even if he had gotten pole, like if Great Ace had gotten pole, I probably would have gave him a 10. If he had outqualified Kogo, I probably would have gave him a 10. But I'm giving him a 9 because of that. And then Kogo, like, you could argue it's a 10, but at the same time, it's more of like it's not really like a perfect 10. It's more of like a 9.5 situation, in my opinion. But we're not doing 0.5s, so I just have to say 9 because I don't think that you should. I don't know, but I'm just giving them both 9s. I can already hear him now raging. I don't care, Kogo. You've already gotten like 5 or 6 10s this season. Fuck off. This was not a 10. This is not a 10, bro. Like, Texas was a 10. Spa was a 10. Oh, we never did ratings for Spa, but if we've done Spa would have been a 10 for him. Texas is a 10.
No, it would have been 9 because he didn't let his son win, little shit.
Mexico's a 10. Like, shit, like, Silverstone's a 10. Like, shit like that's a 10. Like, Hungary was not a 10, bro. Like, that was...
That shit was gifted to you on a silver platter. You Zach Brown having pieces of shit.
Yeah. But anyways, what have you gone for the McLarens?
Kogo, I've agreed with you. I've given the 9, techie shit, little fucker 1. Didn't win from pole, because obviously there was another, there was an Alpine in front who was just a little bit more techie. And then, Sean, I've actually given an 8 because, yes, I don't know, he probably had an incident or two in there, I'm not fucking sure. But, like you said, that little shit, that old, frail, stubborn man, should have really been fighting for a race win because the guy in front of you is the time penalty and your teammate's there. Yes, there is that little bit of devil's advocate. What if you hit your teammate? It's an unwritten rule number 1. The golden rule: don't fucking crash into your teammate. But
yeah,
it's you've got the opportunity for a race win. I don't know how far they were behind each other. And yes, we do know Kogo is a cheat code. But the thing, it's there, dude. Like, it's there. I know personally, if that was me, I'm fighting tooth and nail, and by tooth and nail, I'm pussying out with 5 laps to go to let Will win. Because I don't want a pitchfork stabbed in my eyes and Flavia Briatore to be breathing down my neck. Anyway, that's Alpine. That's Alpine related stuff. But yeah, you really should have grabbed this opportunity because, like you said, Kogo wins half of the fucking races every season. That little shit really needs to get the fuck out of here. Let someone else win. Let Sling, Alex, just someone else that we haven't seen win in a hot minute. But because I know all the boys would take that in a heartbeat, but for some reason, Sean's his knees are a bit blue, or black, or both, and Kogo's been looking a little bit more, what's the word, pleased with himself after that win, if you know what I mean. So yeah, 9 and 8 for McLaren boys. Fuck you, Sean.
Okay, so 9 and 8 and 9 and 9 for the McLarens. No 10s this week.
No.
This was kind of a rough week for everyone around. Everyone made their mistakes and such. Yeah, so So we're, speaking of the Alpines, onto the Alpines to end this off. Start off with you, Golden. You qualified fifth. Still a good time. Just was just slightly off of like me and Kay. Qualified fifth, but then finished fifth in the race because unfortunately you had the time penalty. And could have beat Kay, but got the penalty. So because of that, I gave Kay a 7, so I couldn't give you higher than Kay. So I've given you the same grade as Kay. I've also given you a 7. Obviously, if you had beaten Kay, I probably would have gave you an 8.
Yep.
But I've given you a 7 because I can't give you higher than Kay, and I gave Kay a 7. That's basically what it comes down to.
Fair enough. Nah, that's fair, dude. I gave myself a 6. Because well, the results don't show how at one point I was driving like prime Pierre Gasly. I don't know how the fuck I almost did it. I was catching up with that little shit Kogo. And then his tires kicked in because tire wear is funny on this game, and controllers can go suck a dick apparently, according to EA Sports. Which is funny. And then Great Ace popped up, and he almost tried to murder me. And then K popped up, and then K died, and then he came back, and then he died, and then he came back, and then I got haunted by the ghost of Sean because fuck Sean. Yeah. I can't really say what else it was apart from Golden did a massive fucking choke and he's a skill issue merchant. He's a fucking cunt. But yeah, 6. Mid. Move on. Fuck you, Golden.
Mid. Yeah, that's fair. So 7 and 6 for you. Yeah, it wasn't. But that's why I still gave you a 7 because I felt like the finishing position didn't fully reflect like how good you were driving. Like similar to last season at Hungary, like you were driving really good. It's just the result didn't reflect it. Like you had P4 last time, you had P5 this time.
It's not the end of the world, is what you're saying. Like it's not.
Yeah, like I don't think you're bad at Hungary. I think it's just the aspects of the game. Once the aspects of the shittiness of F125 came into play, it kind of all fell apart. So, yeah, on to the next one, I guess. Which Monza, great tire wear there as well. Really great tire wear there as well.
Great, love it.
Have fun. Have fun. Yeah. We basically have to do it. We basically have to do a 2-stop. I mean, you might be able to just barely get away with doing a 1-stop on a controller, but like it might be faster just to do the 2-stop and so. But anyways, that's for a couple days. But then finally, Sidonia Muse qualified 4th. Just barely behind K because again I had choke in quali, choked both my last 2/10 on my final quali laps. And then in the race, I had a great start, got ahead of everybody, made the whole pack go at my pace for the first half of the race, and then undercut everyone, and was in position to do it again at the end of the race. But then I had a time penalty because for some reason they changed the fucking track limits on the chicane in Sector 2 compared to how it's been in every other F1 game. But yet they've made the other corners easier for track limits, but they've made that corner harder. Tell me how that makes sense? I don't know.
I'm not a computer, mate.
Different scan, I guess. Different
rules for different people. Am I right, Lando
Norris? Yeah. So yeah, still finished on the podium though. Like that's still good. But I've personally given myself an 8. Because obviously I don't want to give myself as high of a grade as the McLarens, but I also don't want to give myself the same grade as you and K. So I've given myself an 8. I personally can't give myself a 9 for that. Yeah, I was first across the line, but again, chokes in quali and chokes in the race that literally cost me a race win. Cost me like that could have been the moment right there that just ruined my because I've kind of been on a comeback the past couple of races, past 3 races. I've had P2, and then a win at Miami last week. So it was looking really promising. Like, oh my god, I might get a second race win in a row. Like that's crazy. And then yeah, and then that happened. It was just sad to see. Even Kogo was like really pissed about it because we could have had a nice little scrap at the end of the race to make things exciting. But then it's like, what's the point? Like, I have a time penalty, so like,
They'll just start seven
he doesn't want to go for
coladas.
he doesn't want to go for any like big stupid moves and then lock up or spin out or something, So yeah, so yeah, 8. I think 8's the perfect grade because it was still a good drive. It's just there was a couple of chokes that just ruined it for me because that could have been another 10, or maybe not 10 because of the qual. Well, I mean, as I'm saying, if there wasn't any chokes at all, because the quality chokes, were also a factor. But I had such a good start that it kind of like negated the quality a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, if I didn't choke that race win, it could have been at least a 9. But yeah, that sucks. Instead of gaining 7 points in the championship, losing 10. And in the constructors too, because it gave McLaren extra points for the constructors as well. So it was just, yeah, it was not a great feeling. It was an ouch. It was an ouch kind of. I wasn't even upset. It was just, or angry. It was just like an ouch moment. It was like, that sucks. That's all on me. That's all on me. I can't blame anyone else. So yeah, I've gone for an 8 for myself.
Seems Mr. Williams had his lovely pan au chocolat and his croissants everywhere. Flowers made it all nice. And Danny, I've just locked up and I'm gonna hit a wall. Ow, sorry. Yeah, his nice pan au chocolats, his croissants, his fucking escargot. He's had his nice dinner, and then when it came to dessert, which I don't know any French desserts, this is really awkward. He's just decided to throw everything out of the pram and have a sook because they didn't serve any chicken tenders at a French restaurant. Now, personally, that is a very tacky performance from Mr. William, which would probably warrant a 9. He did have a time penalty though, but as we say in my good old homeland of Croatia, fuck the feds. You're getting a 9, and I don't give a fuck what anyone else says about it. Because
so you give me a 9?
You wrecked everyone and their mother, right? Again, like it's sort of with me that the final result doesn't show how dominant you were, dude. Like you led for like half the race. Fuck the time penalty and shit. Basically, if you didn't get a time penalty, you're getting a 10, and I don't give a fuck what anyone else thinks. Or
basically, yeah. It would have been, yeah.
It would have been a 10, and yeah. Well,
yeah, it would have been pretty impressive because the fact that I was able to.
No.
Because most people, like, even on the wheels, like the guys on the wheels, like they even tried running lower wings, and they just couldn't do it.
Yeah.
They just couldn't do it. So the fact that I was able to run those wings and be as fast as I was on a controller, is still impressive. So like, I'll take the 9 and the 8. Yeah, it's just the time. Yeah, that's why I was so sad because I could have been. Like, it still was one of my. That's what sucks. It sucks when you lose 10 points in the championship, even though it was one of your better drives. Like, that was one of my better drives this season. Like, that was better than most of my drives. Like, other than Canada, like, that was better than basically all my drives in the first half of the season. So, like, it was still promising. It was still like, okay, this is good. But yeah, I don't know if we'll be, just to wrap things up, I don't know if we'll be running Hungary next season, because like I said, next season's only a 16-race season, so we only got limited spots. I don't know if we'll be, and there's races that we have to include that are very similar to Hungary, such as Imola and Qatar. That are not really like that great for overtaking, so I don't know if we really want to waste, in air quotes, waste, because I like Hungary, but it's not good for battling. It's fun to drive, it's not good for battling people. And next season, like, I want to have as much tracks as possible where you can still battle people. And Hungary just isn't really, it's not an Austria, it's not a Brazil, it's not a Coda or a or even a Vegas. Like even you probably battle more Vegas than Hungary. So yeah, it's just not like one of those tracks. It's a driving track, not a racing track.
Yeah.
So I don't know if we'll be running it next season. But it was fun in this game. I've liked Hungary the past 2 or 3 F1 games, so
I think you know
it was fun.
track.
Yeah, you're not a big fan, but you've had decent. You haven't had terrible results there. You've had decent results, so not the end of the world. Yeah. Before we wrap things up, I think one last thing I was going to say about speaking of results. I think near the end of the season, or like we're getting to the end of the season now, I might for fun do a little because I did this for the guys like ages and ages ago, like when we first started NACS like 2 years ago. I did it. I figured out what everyone's like top 5/6 ish, like top 5 maybe with an honorable mention, like top 5. What statistically what their top 5 or 6 tracks, what their top 5 or 6 best ones were, and what their top 3 like bottom tracks were.
Yep.
Because sometimes it's hard to figure out what people's, not as much for the worst tracks, because it's hard sometimes to figure out what people's worst tracks are, because we've been racing these tracks for so long now that everyone's kind of like, there's very few tracks that people are like struggle with. Most people are like solid across the board at like every track now because we've done them so much. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see statistically like what tracks people have done the best and the worst at. So I might take a look at that. That could be interesting. But anyways, you got anything to say before we wrap things up?
Yeah, you kind of missed out our sponsor for the 4th week in a row. Ladies and gentlemen, the 47th episode, or where the fuck do you think it's episode number 11 of the, I almost said the fucking another podcast. Jesus Christ, we're getting 98 and everything. This episode of the ALP1 podcast is proudly sponsored by what should we do today? The MI6 from America. If you ever need to deport illegal immigrants or just fuck off a random McLaren, you know where to find.
Exactly. That's where they are. Yeah. Yeah. Well, this has been fun. It's been another episode. We'll see you guys next week for the final sprint of the season, which is Monza. So that'll be interesting. We'll probably have a lot to talk about. That might be a long-ish episode because it's a sprint, so there'll be a lot to dissect there. So a lot of waffle, basically. Yeah. So until then, I'm your host, Sidonian Muse.
And I'm still locked in Sidonian Muse's basement.
Exactly. And we'll see you guys next time for Monza.
Toodaloo. Your dad.